My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is December 11, 2025. It is 5:45 a.m. This is like the fourth video. This one I think should be on APTS Sussex because it's talking about Harry's security. Okay, so let's go on Twitter. Maybe I'll include this. I removed that on my last video. Maybe I'll include this at the end. All right, so let's focus on Harry's security thing. All right, quote, the sudden shift granting Harry a risk assessment has jolted the "is Harry coming home" narrative into high gear, while rattling friends of Prince William who had hoped that the Sussex question had been settled by, well, exile. Note, friends of Prince William equal William himself. New security assessment sparks speculation Harry could be moving back home. Oh my God. Harry already told this oh my Lord.
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family? No.
These people are crazy. The political, emotional, and procedural weather around a Harry return has undeniably shifted. Tom Sykes. Okay, article screenshot. Let's see here. Rumors were swirling Tuesday afternoon that Prince Harry could be moving back to the UK after he was handed something he has been demanding for years and was previously told he categorically could not have: a new threat assessment by the British government. Okay, the sudden shift has jolted the "is Harry coming home" narrative into high gear, while rattling friends of Prince William who had hoped that the Sussex question had been settled by, well, exile. Although any move is unlikely to be full-time, Harry has made no secret of his longing to spend more time in Britain. His recent nostalgic, frankly melancholy essay about missing the self-deprecating banter of British life now reads like a man rehearsing the idea of homecoming. He has said repeatedly, with rising exasperation, that he cannot show up and do good in Britain if the state refuses to protect him, that the state now appears ready to revisit that refusal has the look of a political and procedural tide quietly turning. Ignite the speculation afresh is a discovery by Newsweek's chief royal correspondent, Jack Royston, who unearthed from court record and 2020 statement by Sir Richard Mottram, the former chair of RAVIC, the body that decides who among Britain's elite qualifies for state protection. Mottram explained at the time that Harry's decision to live mainly abroad meant he no longer fell within the remit of the Risk Management Board, the mechanism that assesses the dangers facing senior working royals and top officials. Let's not forget, okay? It's the brother who kicked him out. Harry wanted to do 50-50.
Began to address Granny about the 5 options. Your Majesty, you've seen the 5 options? Yes, she said. We all had. They'd been emailed to us. 5 different ways of proceeding. Option 1 was continuance of the status quo. Meg and I don't leave. Everyone tries to go back to normal. Option 5 was full severance. No royal role, no working for Granny, and total loss of security. Option 3 was somewhere in between, a compromise, closest to what we'd originally proposed. I told everyone assembled that, above all, I was desperate to keep security. That was what worried me most, my family's physical safety. I wanted to prevent a repeat of history, another untimely death like the one that had rocked this family to its core 23 years earlier, and from which we were still trying to recover. I'd consulted with several palace veterans, people who knew the inner workings of the monarchy and its history, and they all said option 3 was best for all parties. Meg and I living elsewhere part of the year, continuing our work, retaining security, returning to Britain for charities, ceremonies, events. Sensible solution, these palace veterans said, and eminently doable. But the family, of course, pushed me to take option 1. Barring that, they would only accept option 5. We discussed the 5 options for nearly an hour. At last, the bee got up and went round the table, handing out a draft of a statement the palace would soon be releasing, announcing implementation of option 5. Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement? Before any discussion? Announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show? No answer.
And also, Harry wanted to keep Frogmore, which was a gift from the Queen to him, that was supposed to be his home. After the brother kicked him out, he wanted to keep Frogmore for when he comes to the US, when he goes to the UK to do business. But they took that away from him as well. All right. The R&B Mottram said was designed for UK residents. A non-resident prince, no matter how famous or how emphatically targeted, will have to accept a bespoke alternative. Rayston summarized the essence of the position as Ravik's decision was not that Harry wasn't at risk, but that, they're changing the narrative now, but that the R&B process was designed for UK residents. Oh my God, they tried to remove every cushion or everything that Harry had tried to fight for, and to give him nothing to stand on. The father removed took the house back from him. The brother kicked him out. It's like, oh my God. And then they wanted him to give 28 notice in advance for when he comes. Oh my God. That distinction, invisible to most casual observers and maddening to Harry, is the fulcrum on which this entire saga has pivoted. In 2020, Vivek was saying, in effect, you are a high-profile target, but not our high-profile target. That Harry then sued the Home Office and lost in an attempt to force the state to treat him like a resident again, only deepening the sense of stalemate. And I think it was around that time, I think throughout, even though Harry was in Canada and in the US, he kept his home as the address in the UK. But once the father removed and took the Frogmore away from him, that's when he started using the US or whatever address he had put in that paper. I sure have a screenshot of that. Okay? But anyway, that Harry then sued the Home Office and lost in an attempt to force the state to treat him like a resident again, only deepening the sense of stalemate. And then let's not forget as well, he was paying for Frogmore. I mean, when you're renting to somebody, whether the person is physically in the house or not, and that was supposed to be his, the grandma gave it to him. But whatever money that was supposed to be paid, he was paying it. So the father felt like, okay, since I know you're not home, let me take it away from you. And I think Frogmore is still empty. Let me pause and look. You know what? Let's just go straight to it. All right. Okay, 2025. Yes, as of late 2025, Frogmore Cottage is still largely empty. Okay, you could read the rest of the thing. Harry was still paying for it. But the people should be upset. If Harry wanted to keep Frogmore and then they took it away from him and he was paying for it, that's money that could have gone to the people. But who am I? Let's continue. All right. So the father did it out of anger or resentment, whatever was going on in his crazy brain. Home Office and lost an attempt to force the state to treat him like a resident again, only deepened the sense of stalemate, which is why the fact he is now being given R&B deserves real attention. As Royston writes, quote, one thing that could trigger a new risk assessment would be if Harry were planning to move back. Nah.
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family? No.
Nah, they're trying to change the narrative. And thank God, this is what's good what Harry did. Everything went to court. We could go to court and see what's happening. And some of the things that I'm saying is because he went to court. And I'm aware of these things. The point is that for the past 4 years, British officials have held the line that nothing and Harry's circumstances justify reopening the question. For them to do so now suggests that something, perhaps everything, has changed. And they're making believe, pretending that Invictus is not going to be in the UK. Oh my God, it's so long. I didn't want to read all of that. The tension is heightened by the long-running suspicions, often voiced by Harry's own supporters, that Warwick has been used as an instrument of pressure by the palace rather than purely as a committee to sober bureaucrats following threat matrices. Harry has always believed that the withdrawal of security was a form of coercion, punishment for stepping outside the institution's control. Okay, because William pushed him out. Let's not forget that. I have to keep on mentioning his comment to the BBC, quote, "This, at the heart of it, is a family dispute. A decision that was made to keep us under the roof was a blunt claim that the state's armed protection was directly linked to familial obedience, which the palace and Warwick have consistently denied." If people truly know the truth, everything that the royal family was trying to do to Harry in particular, and attachment to Meghan, if people really did see the truth, even despite the little bits and pieces we got here from Harry's book, from court document and other things, if people did really see the true intention, every steps that the royal family was doing to them, it is unbelievable. They were boxing Harry, put him in a position where it's like they were cornering him in every angle. You have the tabloid against him. You have the part where they took his security away from him. And that security aspect, I think, happened during the Syndrome Summit, and what Harry have said to them give them the idea to use the security against him. During the Syndrome Summit, Harry said something like the security is one of the things he mostly worry about. They were like, oh, okay, that the light bulb went on the royal family. Okay, if this is what you want, and then we do not want you to go, and we want you to leave that black woman, so we're gonna use that against you.
Everyone assembled that, above all, I was desperate to keep security. That was what worried me most, my family's physical safety. I wanted to prevent a repeat of history.
Okay, and they did all of that. But these people are full-blown. There's a level, not only stupidity, craziness, insane, lunatic, all of these play in the role of the royal family. It is evil at every angle when you look at their action, behavior, but in the facade, they're giving you that smile. But lately, the facade sometimes have shown where, for instance, Charles, who's going in public, he will skip any black person. He will not shake the black person hand. So that people have pointed out to me many times. And those black people who keep on trying to shake their hand, they deserve that, but by now they don't get the picture, so they need to be humiliated anyway. But the whole thing is that if you look at what the royal family have done, if people did truly see everything and full without any censored, everything, whatever they were doing, you see it, you understand their intention and everything, you will see how crazy, lunatic, psychotic, you name it. This is full-blown evil behavior of these people. If in fact they had come and tell the truth and tell Harry, look, okay, we love you, but we do not want you to marry that woman for whatever reason they may have. And then if Harry said, no, I'm going to marry that woman, either it would be best if they distance themselves with Harry and leave Harry alone. But no, they will not do that. It's like they're trying to put a rope around him and then pulling him in every direction and want him to submit and say, you better do what I said. It's unbelievable. I have never seen anything like this. Just imagine what Princess Diana have done with the limited information that she was able to put out. And Princess Diana have said it, and I think the voice coach, where she said there's the pulling and there's the pushing or something like that.
It's like being sucked in, just people pushing and then people pulling, all in the same direction.
So you could see, even though you're not the one who's going through what Harry and Meghan are going through, you could see the pull and the push in every direction, because they unleash everyone who are in their orbit, who has a platform or who can do certain things to inflict pain onto them. They unleash these people onto Harry and Meghan. This is, I don't know. I think our prayers is what really help Harry and Meghan, and with their wit and their wisdom, because what they were dealing and they are still dealing with are evil, pure evil. I have never seen anything like this in my life. And knock on wood, for no one else, including myself, to ever encounter these type of people. It's unbelievable. They put themselves on a pedestal, make it seem like it's the best thing that ever happened on this earth. You should cherish them. I don't know, treat them like God or some shit like this. But they are freaking nasty. All right. I don't know. That just came out of me. But anyway, let's get back to the original recording. People, due to court document, Harry find out that people who work at the palace also work at Warwick, and is not independent from each other. Warwick and the RMB together are hydra of senior civil servant, intelligent officials, police commander, and royal representatives. Oh my God, it's too much. I don't want to read anymore. Pause and read. Pause and read. I didn't want this to be too long. Pause and read. Okay, so she took the article and did screenshot. I don't want to read all of this. I want this to be short. In a few minutes, I have to wake up the kids. All right, so that's that. All right, these are all the things. I think it's two things. This is Charles checkmating William. Articles recently continue to be about what William is going to do with his reign, instead of actually out working and supporting his father, the monarch. I also think he's letting William know he can ditch Kate. Okay, I don't know. I have no doubt that, just like Shakespeare's King Lear, Charles is realizing he hitched his wagon to the wrong horse. Oh God, I literally cannot. These people are jizzing their pants, and the thought of Harry moving back to the UK. Harry already told us he's not going back. Moving back home, there's that. So they started with the BS again. Yeah, predictable, without a doubt. It's only assessment. UK media love creating stories for drama, jump to false conclusion, then report it as if fact, leading royal rat running around like headless chicken, without the brain cells between them. All right, let's move on. I didn't expect to read all of that. Right, next tweet, and it seems like the squad are talking about Harry here. Okay, let's pause. This man is doing more diplomacy for his country on his own dime than the people paid by taxpayers to do it. All right. It was a distinct privilege to welcome our special guest, the Duke of Sussex, and His Majesty British Consul General Paul Rene. Okay. Was that the thing that happened over the weekend? Okay, I think on our Port of Pew service, I came across some videos of the speech. I did put it. Okay, go on our Port of Pew service. Our Port of Pew service. It was, okay, I read that. Prince Harry's picture with Andrew Lewis, president of British American Business Council, Los Angeles. Yeah, I think that was that. Okay, it's sad and pathetic for the UK royals, LOL. That's an ad, and that's it. Let me go into that, see what else they're saying. Okay, not much. Okay, so that was that. Next tweet, talking about Prince Harry diplomatic. Okay, I've already covered this in other videos. Did I put it twice? Is that the same thing? Harry is doing more for the United Kingdom from 5,000 miles away than literal heir to the throne, Prince William, who lives in the United Kingdom. And this is the thing. If they had worked with Harry, okay, let's say Harry is living abroad and the others are where they are right now. If they had worked with each other, instead of, if they were thinking logically and a way sustainable and help save money, when certain things needs to be done outside of the UK, whichever royals that is closer to where they want to do certain things, they will use Harry, for instance. But Harry is doing this on his own, so all of this credit goes to him only. Okay, with some of the moves that Harry has been making lately, it almost seems like he is unofficially being a working royal. Yeah, the tea, all right? Really, and I've said before that the people, the well-minded people in the UK, they prefer Harry to do the things, represent the UK instead of the other brother. Willie's accident of birth was unfortunate. Good King Harry would have done so much more for Britain and the Commonwealth. Prince Harry care about the people. That is true. Harry has gone global and I'm here for the story. All right, next tweet. All right, this is my last one before I share something else that has absolutely nothing to do with oh my god, this is too long. I need to wake up the kids now. It's exactly 6 a.m. Just watched last night episode of What's the Monarchy For on BBC One. The statement at the end of the program had me screaming. Buckingham Palace, quote, "We follow the law and we're transparent," end quote. Buckingham Palace to Kensington Palace, "Your move, babes." All right. Buckingham Palace said, quote, "The complexity of the king's legal position as head of state does not in practice exempt him from compliance with the law, and it will be false to suggest otherwise. There is a long-standing convention that the royal household fully complies, both in spirit and in practice, with legislation. Kensington Palace has previously stated, quote, Prince of Wales voluntarily pays the top rate of income and capital gain tax on all his personal income, including received from the duchy." Then, okay, I don't follow them, so I don't know, but some of the discussion that I saw was that William did not release the whatever that needs to be released so people could read what he pays for and the spending. No explanation was given to this program as to why the Prince of Wales has chosen not to follow his father's example of publishing his tax returns since inheriting the role. Okay, this is what I was saying. He didn't release it. The king just shared the heir. All right. There's that. The explanation is simple. It's because Willie is a liar and sociopath. Nah, to that. Same old nonsense from that now left behind royal family. And let's get it right. All the money they have got really belongs to the people of the UK. They should learn to stand on their own 2 feet like the Sussex have done. Harry and Meghan Sussex have shown it can be done. All right, new pen. I have posted things like this before. The Sussexes are supporting good cause and giving to charities around the world without taking UK tax. Daily Mail was doing things like this long before she married Prince Harry. They have shown the rest of the left behind royal family it can be done. Okay, my pen at this keeps disappearing after a while. I have been saying this for a while now that the Sussexes are not taxpayers funded, and yet they are still giving to charities around the world and supporting good cause too. They have shown the rest of the leftovers left behind royal family it can be done. So her thing was not being to learn to stand on your own 2 feet means becoming self-reliant and independent, able to support yourself financially, emotionally, and practically without relying on others, involving personal growth, building confidence, setting boundaries like with relatives, and taking responsibilities for your decision. It's a journey of developing self-trust, making your own choices, and managing life's challenges autonomously. All right, let's finish. He doesn't publish his tax return so that the world will not see the huge amount he spent on buying bats to destroy his brother. Really doesn't disclose, especially since the UK media establishment is afraid of him and keeps on fantasizing him and Keane. The media criticized Chuck, Willie knows it too, and his tantrum, the media fears they will lose access if they call him out. Okay, so I'm done with this. Now, this has nothing to do with anything royals. All right, let me pause. I didn't hear any lies told. Okay, 1 minute and 29 seconds. I definitely need to wake up the kids.
He was talking about your show. What did he say about your show? And then you had to respond.
He said I got fired for ratings, and I'm like, excuse me, sir, you got $100 million for a show with half my ratings at my worst. I had to literally Google his numbers. I'm like, how many people listen to the show? Is it like 4 million people? Oh wait, it's like what, 500,000 people? Dude, that's like average CNN. That's not that high. They're paying you not for your numbers, my friend. They're paying you because you are willing to say the nasty things about Black people that they want to say. You're willing to take their denigration of Black women and put it in the mouth of a Negro. And because you're willing to put the denigration of Black women in particular into a Negro's mouth, you now think that, oh, I must be a freaking political genius. But just be clear, you're not being paid for your numbers, you're being paid for what you're willing to do to us for white people. And as long as you cool with that, bruh, keep being you. Don't come for my friends, don't come for people that I know their value and try to devalue them in front of all the Black women who can see and hear because we know what you're doing.
Okay, I thought I shared that with you. I can't stand what's his name, Steve A. Smith or something like that. I listened to him once or twice, and his exaggeration and when he's talking and the things that come out of his mouth, I just but when I came across this, I thought I shared it with you. And the other thing as well, what's her name again? She used to be on MSNBC. When I first come across her, I think she was doing reporting underground. It's regarding the Trayvon Martin thing, who got killed for Skidoo and things like that. And then little at a time, MSNBC brought her in, and she had her own show. And then by then, I didn't have cable anymore, so I didn't really follow her as much anymore. But I used to watch her show. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to share that with you. There's comments, but that's him. I can't stand him. But anyway, you could pause and read this. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, I'm not going to put it here. I'm going to put it on APTS Sussex. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. All right, so that is it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.